Yeah, so basically, Friends of Elephants is not an organization, but it's not proposing to become one. It is basically a group of people coming together with varied experience concerns about elephants and other wildlife. This group is formed to impart knowledge linked to elephants and other wildlife sciences, conservation, and welfare through art, culture, literature, movies, talks, and panel discussions. As you can see, we've been conducting events offline since April of 2020 and online since 2020. Our expectation is that people who have attended our events formally or informally participate or help in developing appropriate conservation welfare measures for wildlife, including elephants. So I'll just give you a brief on the schedule. There'll be an introduction about myself, launch, and conversation with Dr. Kaveri and Dr. H.S. Prayag, and a question and answer that will be moderated by Selvam George.
I think here the talk Dr. Prayag is missing.
Oh.
So after the book launch, there'll be a talk from Dr. Prayag, and then
Yeah.
the conversation, and then the Q&A. So.
Hey, hi everybody. Good evening. My name is Varsha Ananda. I'm actually an artist, craft designer, and a painter. I had my formal education in visual arts and design from Karnataka and Chhattisgarh College of Fine Arts, Bangalore. So I'm also an art educator and teacher, where I have worked for colleges like Jain, the Day School, and Bangalore City University, Karnataka Chhattisgarh College of Fine Arts, Bangalore, and in a few prestigious schools in Bangalore, like Veterinary as an art teacher. Other than that, I'm also a government certified empanelment designer, where I design products that uh, are used to teach artisans from different parts of India in different crafts, where it helps them promote to build their business and create new products. I came to wildlife because I work with RV Alert Foundation, and I am the project manager for Snakes of Mice. That's how I got into it. So I have a lot of interest in wildlife conservation, and I actually want to know more and contribute to solving the problem through help, like for human-animal conflicts and any coexistence issues that are currently present. So there is a book launch introducing a new book on a modified landscape, elephants and other animals, Kabini on my mind, Musings of Naturalist by Vikram Nanjappa. So Mr. Vikram Nanjappa likes to be described as an interested and well-informed amateur. Vikram's first exposure to wildlife came from the shikar tales he had heard from his friends while studying at Mayo College in Ajmer in Rajasthan. After completing his bachelor's in history and political science from St. Stephen's College, Vikram joined the Tea Party. In 2002, he moved to Kabini and took up organizing welfare wildlife tours. After leaving Kabini in a matter of natural protection, Vikram ventured into the field of wildlife conservation, non-profit organization with the Asian Nature Conservation Foundation. Evers the traditional knowledge in fields with good science and common sense is the best way to understand, expose and preserve our wildlife, which is alarmingly on the decline. Currently residing in Bangalore, Vikram works with Evolved Back Resorts as a marketing researcher. What do you, Vikram, sir?
Yeah, hello, and thank you for that introduction. Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible, Vikram. I'll just stop sharing my screen so that you can take over.
Right. Right. So thank you for that introduction and for this opportunity to introduce my book. As Varsha said, I worked as a naturalist in Kabini from 2003 till about 2011. And previous to that, I was the tea estates in North Bengal. And I've always been interested in wildlife right from my school days. So a very, very solid interest in wildlife, though I haven't really, studied wildlife. I'm not a biologist or anything. I'm just an amateur, very, very interested in wildlife, and who's had the opportunity to really, enjoy my wildlife in the field by both during my times as a tea planter. I was in North Bengal, so I'm sure you're all aware of the kind of human-elephant conflict that we have in North Bengal. And I've worked in one of the tea estates which has one of the highest incidents of conflict. Place called Saili. I don't know if any of you are familiar with that. Then after leaving tea, I joined, of course, Kabini as a naturalist, as that was the only way I could work with wildlife, since I'm not a biologist or a trained researcher. That was the only job I could get in the wildlife field, and it was a great time. So when I was in wildlife, while I was in Kabini from say around 2005 or something, I started maintaining an online journal. Those days, journaling had just sort of started, and there was this platform called Live Journal. I don't know if I'm sure the older people will be aware of it. So I used to maintain a journal on a Live Journal, and I used to just jot down my my observations, my opinions, my various musings, etc., thoughts as the incidents played out. It was like almost like a daily diary, but it was online. And then after I left Kabini and moved to Bangalore, when I was growing up, the biggest influence on me in how I got into wildlife and how I really began to get interested in wildlife was through books. Yeah, more books than practical field work, opportunities to go into the forest and all. That came later, of course, but the initial interest was from books and stories. And as I continued reading, I realized that not many people in India are writing books, popular books on wildlife. I mean, in the old days, yes, you had Cobbett, you had Anderson, you had a lot of people who were writing these kind of books. They were shikar tales, but still they were very interesting wildlife stories that got people hooked. I mean, I came I started reading shikar literature. That's how I came into wildlife. That was what was available when I was a child. And as I grew older and got into college, I realized that most of the wildlife books in the popular genre are written by mostly by foreigners, and they're mostly about African wildlife, and very little on Indian wildlife. Of course, there were a few exceptions. I mean, Dr. Sukumar's Elephant Days and Nights, and there were a few exceptions, but I realized that there's nothing really available in the popular this thing on Indian wildlife. So I used to keep complaining about it. Then one day someone said, hey, why you stop complaining? I mean, you had some kind of exposure experience. Why don't you write something? So that's when I decided that, I'll just convert. The easiest thing to do is convert that online journal into a book. And that's what I've done. So I just show you, this is the book, and it's available on Amazon. So I haven't really updated anything. It gives you this thing of how things using national history notes and opinions that occurred in Kabini during my stint there, and I haven't I resist the urge to sort of update them. So that it's just it's this thing of how I felt and what I experienced practically while viewing it, while experiencing it at that point of time. I haven't updated it. Hindsight, can at times be not very fair to the people who actually lived through those experiences. So it's available on Amazon, as I said, and Kabini being Kabini, there's a lot to do with elephants. Elephants also happen to be my favorite species when it comes to wildlife. So there's a lot of small incidents on elephants, and it's not a very heavy book. It's very light reading, suitable for young adults as well, maybe children also. And it has a lot of illustrations, line drawings by my friend Alok. He's the one who did the illustrations. A lot of small illustrations just to break up the text. And when it comes to elephants, there are two incidents, particular incidents in which I have spoken a little bit on length, written a little bit on length on that book, in that book. One was an incident in which there was one calf, elephant calf, very badly injured on the forehead, and the extremely deep wounds, and it was there with its mother and aunt, and it was obviously a lot of pain, and the wounds were extremely deep through the skull. Could practically see, through the bone, and didn't really know what it was that caused those incidents. It could have been an axe, a hatchet, or it could have been a tiger. I don't know. We really don't know exactly what. But the interesting thing was that after a couple of days after arriving at the backwaters in Kabini, after about a week or 10 days of observing this, the calf, we found that the mother and aunt had abandoned it. Yeah, so very rarely do we hear of, elephant mothers or elephant herds abandoning a calf. So, but this calf was abandoned. So that was an interesting story and an interesting incident. And then there was another incident in which there was a well-known tusker. Well, well-known means he used to be a frequent visitor to the backwaters over the years. And at one point of time, when he came back to the backwaters, he had injured his leg. You could see that he was, favoring that leg. It was the right hind leg, I think, or left hind leg, one of the left hind legs. And he was spending a lot of time in the water, trying to take the weight off his leg, obviously. And so we observed him for about a week, 10 days. The last few days, he finally passed away. And the interesting part was that there was an old gaur, very old gaur, frail male gaur, and both of them were keeping each other company. And when finally the elephant died, the forest department, they retrieved the body. They took it outside the park, and they basically, they didn't bury it, they burnt it. And while this was going on, the gaur, he walked out of the park and stood by. I mean, all the villagers were there, and you had this huge gaur standing and watching that elephant being, cremated. That's the right word. So I have all this on photo. I have photographs to prove it. I mean, if you think I'm just talking through my hat. So these are a couple of incidents, slightly odd, or shall we say, out of the box incidents. There were also, of course, a lot of other small anecdotes about elephants, and so I think it's better if you read the book. It's nice, light reading, good fun, and I hope it serves its purpose of getting young people involved in wildlife, interested in wildlife. And also another thing is, if anybody here wants to sort of get it translated into Kannada or Tamil or any other local language, I'll be very happy to give you the book, give you all whatever permissions required if you want to translate and use it for educational purposes. You can just reach out to me anytime. So that's basically just a short gist of the book. I don't want to talk too much. I know you guys are waiting for the rest of the stuff, and I'm thankful to Mr. Verma for giving me this opportunity to introduce my book. So if there are any questions, I can take them now or maybe later.
Yeah, thanks, Vikram. If you want to show some illustrations that you're mentioning, few of them.
Yeah, but actually, you can't really see much here. But
we can try.
Okay. Can you see something here?
Yeah.
There's a story of a tusker in the backwater. He used to spend his time chasing crocodiles. Okay. You see a crocodile down here?
Yeah, we can see.
Yeah, there's a tusker.
Yeah.
So all these illustrations are taken from photographs that I took.
Okay.
So this guy used to like to chase whenever he see an elephant, a crocodile basking. He'd come and chase the guy into the water. That seemed to be his thing. So a lot of small, humorous incidents, also some serious stuff. So it's a mix of various things. And also, I also touch upon my days in the duars, and about certain incidents that happened in the duas, conflict incidents mostly. So this is quite if you don't mind me saying it, I think it's quite an interesting read. I've got some decent feedback from the naturalist community, but I would like some feedback from people who are not really into wildlife. That'll be nice.
Does anyone have questions for Vikram sir?
So we just request all the participants to type in any of the questions that you may have in the chat, and we'll take up the questions with the guests in the Q&A session. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Vikram. Thanks for sharing your experience. I think we'll move on.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. It was very nice talk.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Thanks, sir. So next we have Dr. H.S. Prayag, who will be talking about trunk wars. So next slide. Yeah. So Dr. H.S. Prayag is a wildlife photographer who is also into creative arts, yoga, and meditation. He is currently working as an assistant professor in the Department of Animal Genetics and Breeding, Veterinary College, KVA FSU, Vidar. He also has been actively participating in multiple wildlife-related programs conducted in Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. Dr. Prayag has worked in projects such as human-leopard conflict with Karnataka Forest Department and DNA barcoding of giraffes in Indian Zoo and their genetic characterization. His papers have been published and presented in reputed national and international conferences and scientific forums. Over to you, Dr. Prayag.
Am I visible?
Yes, sir. You're visible now.
Okay, I'm not a wildlife photographer. I'm a wildlife veterinarian. That's the old CV I sent, probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
So sorry about that. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah. Because my current affiliation is the government of Karnataka. I work as a chief veterinary officer. Earlier, I was assistant professor in the college, veterinary college. First of all, I would like to thank Verma sir for giving the opportunity. We just happened to discuss during International Elephant Day that I'll be going to Chhattisgarh. When I went there, I was stayed there for almost 12, 13 days. So when I came back, I saw something similar things which happened in Karnataka when I joined department in 2012, almost a decade or more than a decade back. So there are a lot of common things, a lot of challenges we had faced. So this talk would be more of a comparison what I had seen during my tenure at Karnataka Forest Department way back in 2012 to 15. And I've been going to Chhattisgarh from 2017 for different assignments. So this trunk war is more of like human-wildlife conflict or human-elephant interaction, to be specific. What we have seen in Karnataka when I joined. So my experience with this trunk war or human elephant interaction started when I was working for Mysore. When for the first time, if you can recall, people over in the wildlife field, elephant landed up. 2 elephants came into Mysore city, in the midst of the city. Had come from MCPT that day, and my CF Makandaya sir called me early morning 6:30 and told there are 2 elephants in midst of Mysore city. I was literally like, for a minute I felt that I'm really dreaming or just really happening. But come late night, I was like in a confused state of mind. But when I came to census, when I reconfirmed that information, I was shocked that a population of 10 lakhs and elephant coming there could be a walk. Exactly what I had predicted. The elephant really did create a lot of havoc. One person was killed. That time, Honorable CM was there in Mysore itself. Very dynamic officer, Harsh Gupta, though he was sent to other posting, he was there till that operation got completed. And for the first time, I realized when elephants come to a city, what can happen. It was bizarre for everyone. Like, look, we didn't have the skills in handling in the midst of the city. So we have the experience of going and capturing the elephant in the forest fringes, but capturing the elephant in the midst of city when the people are chasing elephant. Some is holding stick and trying to chase it. Some are trying to pull the tail and showing his bravery. I felt this is really a weird thing was happening. So it took a lot of time for to realize how things work out at the grassroots level. There's a time I interacted that time with after look to cut the story short. Though we captured one of the team, Nagaraj sir and other colleagues, they captured one elephant. Me and Khadri was also senior vet. We could successfully capture one more elephant. So during the whole process, I realized a lot of things. I had a chance to interact with the ministers. I had a chance of interacting with the forest department, the grassroots level people, activists, media. So all the stakeholders whom we call, they had a different opinion on these issues, and media were showing in a very, no, what I can tell, hyped way. Okay, the way they were giving narration. Well, the ground reality was something different. So that got really interested in understanding this human elephant conflict in particular, because after that I was involved every time elephant was to be captured, either in Hassan, which is a story by itself, or again when an elephant again came, not only this time 2 but 13 elephants came. So how the person, the helm of affairs handle it, how the media handles it, how the political parties look at it, how the forest department will be literally at receiving end, and how we doctors, though knowing, I'll say one example. So what happened then was how among veterinarians there is a difference of opinion. So when this elephant was to be captured, we didn't have etorphin that time. We had only xylazine. Whereas we were told by great people like Chettiappa that etorphin is the drug of choice. Whereas I don't know, name the person, my boss was saying, we'll capture through xylazine. I told, sir, xylazine will not make much difference. It's going to give us standing anesthesia, but not a proper one to chain it and load it to the truck after reviving it. Thankfully, Banagata people had the etorphin since it was in the Mysore. They thought it's a pride of vets of Mysore to capture it, not of the thing. That's a internal conflict among ourselves. Then thankfully, I went to my BPW Civil Dynamic office. I told, sir, we don't have etorphin. Etorphin is with Banagata place. Immediately told, we don't want this one, we want that. Then they were not willing to give us because they wanted Dalton. So I finally told, use the best expertise who has the experience of it and somehow captured. We don't want your internal conflicts happening here. So the conflict starts among our own professionals that I have to capture it first. The war starts among ourselves. Everyone has expertise in how to capture it, how to handle it, right? So the trunk wars, when I mean, it's not only about the elephant, but among ourselves, among the veterinarians, among our own colleagues, how we differ just to get some brownie point, just to prove that we are better than someone else. So I don't have any problem in handling human elephant conflict. Leave it to them. By time, there are many scientists who agree. Elephants, I'm not telling this mid of city, when they come, we don't trouble them by the evening. This is what my observation. They go back to their place. But what we do is people gather, media makes a breaking news, and we trouble them so much, they really get disturbed. Then when people go very close, try to get a selfie, then they get really irritated and then they attack and people die. I've not seen elephant, you're standing quietly and some elephant comes and kills you. I'm not seen, from my own example, I've been in this field for almost 20 years. Elephant by itself, unless it's in must or it's been abused by the mahout or someone, I've not seen that kind of scenario where elephant itself will come and charge you unless it has some behavioral problem. So these are the conflicts I started understanding. Then when 13 elephants came, I think the present honorable Siddaramaiah was the CM. Then the way he handled it, when we requested that 3 days we were trying to drive it, but they would go. We would think that okay, they have crossed and would come again. We receive in the morning. No, they'll come back. So this went on for a couple of days. Then we could figure out, when we called all the stakeholders to figure out that there's a railway line which passes. They go up to the railway line. The train will be moving. They're not able to move that side. They come back. The whole day exercise will be going to drains because the next day they come to the same place where they were found in the morning. So we requested through DC of Shikha, DC Shikha ma'am was there. So ma'am told to CM, and honestly, the way it was implemented, I really wonder if there is a will, no political will, things can be easily done. So it was decided that we will inform the railway people that during that time when elephants are crossing in the night for 1 hour or till they cross, there should be no rail movement. So miraculously that night the elephant crossed. So it needs coordination between so many people, starting from I always tell this in my talks, starting from a PCB watch at the ground level to PCCF, everyone should be in the line of command to agree on one thing, that our purpose is to see that we give a passage to the elephants to go. And in that process, that time we didn't have even one death. 2 elephants came, we have one death. 13 elephants came, not even one death. So that means we learned over a period of time. If you see the chronology, number of deaths have definitely decreased. All credit goes to one of my mentor, Manoj Kumar sir, who did a commendable job along with other officers, of course. But we need a very visionary officer like BP Ravi sir, Manoj Kumar sir. A lot of NGOs are doing great job. Anand sir in Valparai, what he has done, and the people I had an opportunity to interact with Nishant and the team when in the Hasan episode. Coming to this is the one thing about Mysore. So again, when the Supreme Court gave a ruling during 1213 that time, that elephants has to be translocated. So I didn't feel it's a viable solution long time, because by then I had interacted with a lot of people who were really worked. It was Kopaka Saryani who introduced me to Ajay Desai. The way Ajay sir was very vocal, he didn't bother about what people think about him. He was on face. You would like, I would like those kind of people who would tell on face to the officers or the politician that this is not a solution, just to be in the position or to be get brownie points. He never did that. So we were of the opinion that okay, fine, we remove this 20 odd elephants, collar them, blah blah blah. But when there's no barrier, I had written this to concerned official that, sir, this is not going to help us, because once you remove that herd, I'm damn sure that a new herd will occupy it, and same thing has happened over a period of time. In fact, and the way we used to capture earlier was very inhuman. In fact, Kalyan made a documentary which I always use it in my talks when I go outside. We felt it's not a human method of capturing it. Like the way the other elephant literally, butts pushes the captured elephant. You can watch that documentary inside elephant capture. So I had to leave in the half because I was not comfortable, and my ideas, like we people were really professionals, tried to put some sense to a system, and system that time was not able to understand why you're telling. Thankfully, I appreciate Ajay Mishra sir, who in spite of that told Prayag will change over a period of time. It's not one day all your ideas will be implemented. Give us that time. So that time we thought we have better thing. Now, thankfully, they're capturing the elephants. Instead of one elephant butting on the other elephant on the head, they're using cranes to lift it. This I had learned from Dave Cooper. There they use chopper. They use cranes to lift the elephant. So over a period of times, we have seen the system literally changing itself, the way they handle human elephant interactions. So earlier I've seen elephants being poisoned. I think even now they happen. One episode I can give is in SD Kote. I'd seen one elephant jaw literally been teared apart. Later, when we discovered it died, we discovered that they used that handmade bomb to kill the wild boar, which which raid the crops. So these are the things which really disturbed me. And then what I would interact with sir is there was no 100% staff, not even now. I think they have 100% staff. It is understaffed. We don't have a permanent veterinary cadre there. But over a period of time, when Manoj Kumar took over, I've seen the improvement drastically. The way he brought the death numbers from, I believe, 89 to 0. That's a commendable job what he has done in Kodagu. And to an extent, Hassan, under his leadership as Project Elephant Director, the way he did was commendable job. So there are things over a period of more than a decade, what I see the improvement made in the thing. Coming when I went to Chhattisgarh, I found the same things happening. Like they're also understaffed. Thankfully, PCF is so open. I first of all thank the CM secretary, my good friend Dr. Basaraju, who invited me to Chhattisgarh, and they were literally wanted to fix the problem because in CM state there was 9 deaths happened, and I appreciate the openness of PCCF of Chhattisgarh, who allowed me to go to the field and understand. And I spent 12 days, and I didn't see difference between Karnataka few years back and the way Chhattisgarh right now. They're in the same position. I told sir, there's no point in reinventing wheel. These are the lessons what we learned over a period of time. So whatever lessons we had learned over a period of decade or so, I could interact with them, and sir was so kind enough that okay, these things can be implemented immediately prior. It may be at the grassroots level. The basic facilities has to be improved. The infrastructure has to be improved. It's always the frontline staff who go and face the public. So there are instances where vehicles are burnt. There are instances where the doctors are beaten up. So we have gone through all these things. So they have all added to it. They have Naxalite problem in Dantewada. They have a Sarguja. So they have other problems as well, which we don't have, fortunately, along with the elephant conflict in the elephant area where they are facing. But they definitely are open enough to implement the things what we've done in Karnataka. It may be the barriers, it may be the technology, the latest one, wherever feasible, the cropping pattern changes, because they basically grow, what I've seen from my field visits, paddy, and they have sugar cane. So these are the things what I see and interact with people there, public also, as well as the frontline staff, DFO, ACF, CF, PCCF. So I found things are not much different in different landscape. Maybe locally there may be small changes, but when you think of human wildlife conflict, more tolerant. What I've seen here, our people would poison. I've seen in Karnataka, if we don't, this one they would shoot, especially in Nagarode, Kodugu side. No, earlier when I used to go, no, most things was is either elephants are poisoned, they are shot. The retaliation killing. Thankfully, in spite of 10 deaths, I didn't see one person, even having thought of killing thing. Only once, when I went last time, when I saw an elephant was there, it was electrocuted by, I don't know whether accident or public did it intentionally. That's a question. But in spite of 9 human deaths out of 10 happened there, people are still tolerant. But I did tell that the threshold, moment the threshold of people goes, there's every possibility that they will retaliate. Thankfully, till now, the tribal people, nice, tolerant people. So these are things what I learned over a period of 12 days there. So they're agreed to have the exchange of technology, especially the app where they're giving e-Pariyar in Karnataka. They also are doing that. And I do agree, mining is also an issue there. And they share borders from multiple states. Odisha, they have UP, they have other states. So Maharashtra is there. So they're surrounded by 7 states, if I remember right. So we have to think what can be suitable for them, whether they're ready for change in crop pattern. But they have wonderful programs coming up there. They announced through radio. Hathi Mitra something is there. Hathi Dalli is there. They have one more app called Animal Alert, so which gives the real-time data of the elephant movement. They can map it. The field staff are there. But I felt people are more innocent there, and the staff also are hardworking. They put. I've seen the ACF telling, sir, I'm not gone to my home. Both husband and wife are ACF. They're in different division. So it's very heartwarming to see so many things have been done by our frontline staff. So it's high time that public participates into it. Instead of always blaming the forest department or people, we have to take proactive steps in understanding at the gross level where this problem starts. I do understand there are many macro issues which we definitely can't manage at our level. It's more of a policy level decisions, maybe mining, maybe infrastructure projects, breaking of the corridors. And exactly what the DFO is saying, there is no continuous patch. There have been fragmented forest thing, and they're giving patta land right, left, and center. These are the policy matters which has been taken at the policy level. However, in my 12 years experience, all I could feel was what Karnataka was, at least from my perspective, what I've seen from past decade or more than a decade, the similar things I found, but they're quick to adapt because they know if not now, when. So this is my brief experience with working in Karnataka as well as Chhattisgarh. I did mention that they should, again, animal activists, without knowing what is conservation, there's some armchair activists. It was happening here also earlier. It's happening there also. They're applying PIL for every small things. Look, you should understand conservation should be done with all the stakeholders in same page. So now I will give an example. One elephant was captured. Now with the PIL, now neither it's living free, neither it's going to be a kumki. It's just simply in the rehab center. So there are proper guidelines laid down by the Project Elephant. There are experts who have worked extensively in the field. Right now, after this, I see a lot of things in Verma sir. I had less time working with him. I only had interacted with him, but there are wonderful people who worked at the grassroots level. So we have to listen to them. There are wonderful doctors who have given their lifetime to it. Chetyappa sir is one of my mentor. He has given his lifetime to the elephant in Karnataka. We need to acknowledge that. We take his experience. We have to learn different good practices from different states. That is the high time we implement the best practice. It's not the Karnataka elephant, it's not Tamil Nadu elephant, it's not Kerala elephant. And this is not a state issue anymore. It's a landscape, it's a anti-conservation of species as such. So because some 3 elephants die, people start making news why 3 elephants have died. You should understand, if they're died of natural cause, we can't help it. Yeah, obviously, if it's unnatural, it's definitely a red flag there. But it's at high time we all work together. That's what I believe. Starting from a common man to different stakeholders, join hands, first understand the problem. Moment we understand the problem, then the strong wars can be mitigated. I'm not telling it can be solved. We had a talk, me and Verma sir had a talk. The way he was telling the grassroots problem much more than me has gone to the field and seen the landscape, wider landscape than I have seen. It is very shocking, the information what you have given. It's high time, even at the individual level, we have to make a difference. At the policy level, wherever we can make a changes. Look, my friend is secretary to CM. I could recommend him some practical solutions. Hopefully, it will be implemented in Chhattisgarh. PCF was very warm enough to acknowledge all the grassroots level problems. He's aware of it. We need those kind of officers, because if we can't solve the problem, we're a part of the problem ourselves. So this is my brief experience, what I had to share with you guys. So now we can have a conversation with my student Kaveri. Then we can take for Q&A.
Sure. So next we have conflicts in Karnataka and Chhattisgarh, factors and concerns with Dr. Kaveri M, and in conversation with Dr. H.S. Prayag. Over to you,
Yeah.
sir. Hi, ma'am. So,
Hello.
Dr. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, you're audible.
Yeah. So, Dr. Kaveri M is a Ph.D. veterinary medicine, ICAR, IVRI, working as a veterinarian at Supertails in Bangalore. And Dr. Kaveri is a distinguished veterinarian doctor with PhD in veterinary medicine. With extensive expertise in animal health and care, Dr. Kaveri has dedicated her career in advancing veterinary practices and improving animal well-being. Her research and ethical work are driven by a deep commitment to understand and treating a wide range of animal conditions. Beyond their critical responsibilities, Dr. Kaveri is actually involved in educating future veterinarians and contributing to advancements in veterinary science. Her position for animal care and commitment is notable. Over to you, ma'am.
Yeah, very good evening to all of you. There are so many coincidences today, I feel, right from this event being organized on Ganesh Chaturthi to me spending a couple of years during my masters at Chhattisgarh and closely observing because the college has a center called as Center for Wildlife Health and Forensic, which is one of its kind for the entire state of Chhattisgarh. So I used to regularly see my teachers going and radio collaring the elephants, and Prayag sir coming in and suddenly sending me a picture of, see, I'm in Chhattisgarh, I'm giving IV fluids to one of the elephant. So it's been both way. I have like seen situation both in Karnataka and Chhattisgarh. So, to begin with, it's a wonderful topic, first of all, trunk wars, or rather the conflicts in Karnataka and Chhattisgarh. What are the common factors and what are the concerns that are mattering? So, Dr. Prayag, I would like to first begin this conversation by asking you about certain similarities. How would you term it in terms of ethnic and cultural tensions? Because, as you rightly mentioned, the landscape of Karnataka and Chhattisgarh is immensely different. In Karnataka, we do not find that much of tribal population compared to Chhattisgarh. It's more of only region and language difference, because in Madikeri the issues are completely different, whereas the Banirghata zone is different. Whereas in Chhattisgarh there is a lot of especially in districts like Delhi Rajara or Dantewada. There is a lot of political activism, and also the Naxal issues and the tribal issues. And there is a pretty thin line of balance, I would say, that needs to be maintained. So, how would you look at it on the perspective of the ethnic and cultural differences between these two states?
Yeah, that's what I'm telling. If the same thing had happened in Karnataka, 9 deaths in a CM constituency, there
Yeah.
will be a what I can call debate happening on the TV. There'll be a lot of articles retaining, and opposition party would be asking for resignation of minister like that. But I saw, except one guy who was applied PIL, I've not seen any person disturbing the government there as such. The tribal are really having a lot of tolerance level. And because of probably I feel they have been in the forest land for a long time, and they revere the, I don't know, I'm not interacted with the people there, the tribal, except for a couple of hours I had time with. I feel definitely there is a cultural difference there. And what I was told when I was interacting with the ACF is their life is simple. They eat the rice which is fermented, and they drink this mawa, that alcohol they prepare. No, so, and they don't survive long time, and very lean there, right? So for them, they don't react the way I've seen people in Karnataka react to the human deaths and elephants. They've been, till now when I went there, they've been tolerant. Coming to Naxal issue, definitely. When in fact, and when I went first to Sarguja in 2017, when I was treating the elephant, I think the same thing you're mentioning. We were asked to leave by evening 6:30. Sir, there's attack in that area, so please leave. So I was taken back. Literally, the panic in the air was very pliable for me. So that elephant didn't survive. Padmavati, which had a injury, so it didn't survive. Then I kept on asking. Then I think his name is Bisan sir. So how you deal with this kind of two issues running parallelly? One where you have elephant which needs to be treated, which needs to be resolved. At the same time, you have Naxalite problem there. Told it was a trade-off. So who's more important now, human life or animal life, right? So if we stay back that night, every chance of Naxalites coming there. That's what I was telling. So, and anyway, the elephant was not in a position that it will survive. So we gave a trip. We didn't stay there, right? I just moved out because I had gone from Karnataka. They told, sir, river safety is more important for us. Our guys will follow the whatever best we can do, but it's not safe for us to stay back here. So they're more worried about Naxal problem uh, than the elephant from that moment of time when I went 2017, right? So recently we saw Dantewada, they had Naxal issue. And the day I was supposed to come back to Bangalore, the same day Home Minister was landing regarding discussing about the Naxalite issue in Raipur. So I do understand a lot of Naxalite problem in the mining. The way I could gather information from people, mining, that what the CF things are, mining's taking these landscape, and that is a more of a policy issue. And the elephants have been driven from Odisha. They're entering our place and they're localizing here. So lot of issues, and definitely two different cultural states, and the way they're handling is completely different. I will look at the positive side. The people are tolerant there. The staff are really hardworking. The PCF is open enough to admit these are the problems we face, and we are ready to implement the new things which have been there. And again, those things which have been proven effective in other states also.
Okay. And we also find a lot of difference when it comes to resources, the natural resources. In Karnataka, it's majorly, I had been, in fact, I personally visited Coorg this year in the month of like March, April, and I could see that locals telling, ma'am, had you come here before 2 months, you would witness elephants drinking water from here. But now, since the river has dried up, there are no dam gates have been open. They are there in the deep forest. We don't know if they are getting enough water or not. From such a grave situation, too, whereas in Chhattisgarh we find every aspect, like the cities like Ambikapur being like hill station, always full of greenery, lush green water. There is no scarcity at all. To dry states like Rajnandgaon, Durg. So, how do you feel that this nature as a whole is making impact on elephants' lives in both the states?
You're right. Look, I completely agree with you on that aspect. When I went there, there's lush green. They have a lot of water resources there, because all the elephants which are being localized, they call loner. We call it tusker here. They call loner. First, like every time I stand, they write LANAR. I thought a name difference. Then they realized tusker. So I've seen this tusker, and they have one dal called Shanti Dal. They're telling that the Shanti Dal is like a group of elephants are not harming anyone. They're 13 or 9, I believe. So, and this lone tusker, they're happy eating. It's in the forest also. It comes outside, raids on the crop as jaggery, and having a gala time, a wonderful water resource there. They're having a nice time there. So landscape also is very conducive for the elephant to survive there. Though when you see other landscape, there's a conflict. Whereas there's a conflict because these people also make that one I didn't understand this. Why this elephant is going and raiding in the morning, and in the night it's coming and destroying the homes. That most of the deaths which happened, the person was inside, so it went and killed. So those two people who wanted to save the daughter, they also got killed because it attacked them and killed them. So I do completely agree with you. So a lot of factors play a vital role why the elephants behave certain way there, and why the elephant behave certain way in Kodugu landscape. I think it's different for different landscape, and the way people react to
Right.
it also.
Yeah. So you mean to say more land of Chhattisgarh is covered by forest? Forest cover is more in
Yeah.
Chhattisgarh. More of untouched raw nature, I would say, rather, is
Now
present
they're
more
giving
in
Pata land.
Chhattisgarh.
Now they've given that what I've gathered information when I saw also. What has happened now is it's more of a political thing, I believe. Even this was expressed by forest department. They have started giving patta land, no, like near the forest fringes. I've seen that forest is there. They're having cultivation next to forest fringes, and they're having a house there. I was told they have one more house there, but that house is just for coming and cultivating. Obviously, when elephant comes, it will definitely kill the person if elephant gets disturbed. So I think that is a major issue where they're giving patta lands in the fringes of the forest.
And also, we see that although two states far apart, the rate of development in both these states is again different, because Karnataka is a IT state, and Chhattisgarh is more of farmers and tribals. Paddy growth is more. And recently, I even saw in a paper that you published in this International Elephant Foundation conference. So you had also mentioned in your paper that growing chilies and tobacco surrounding this paddy fields, that can also naturally prevent elephants from entering the farm and destroying the crops. So what do you think of the progress of farmers in this regard? Have Is Chhattisgarh leading it, or you feel Karnataka is doing fairly well in naturally retarding the elephants from destroying their crops?
So this was on the point of the discussion with PCs here. So and the DF also. Look, this thing I picked up from Tamil Nadu when my wife was working there. So I read in Coimbatore, one of the where most conflict elephants conflict was there. They use this cropping pattern chain and they could mitigate the thing. And even Hassan, I'm told, I've not gone to the site. I'm told they're using bees. When I explained wherever feasible in Chhattisgarh, this could be done. They told, sir, wherever possible, definitely we can do it, but they think of commercial because they get more money through sugarcane. Already told by you, that needs orientation of the and soil type also. Whether, and in fact tobacco and all the things we deterrent, no? Will the farmers ready to adopt that? I told just try out in a few patches where the atmosphere is conducive for those kind of deterrent crops, land transformation type of things. They're open about it, but some of the DFOs expressing no, sir, this is not practically possible here. They were telling the bee thing to nahi hoga sir yahan se, because उसके लिए flower चाहिए, उस तरह का flower क्या we can grow here. I told give it a try. Anyway, they are coming, the DFOs of that particular. I think I went to 6 division, 2 circles. Few are really interested to come to Karnataka and see what are the feasible things they can adapt back in their state, in their division. So it's more of we can't copy and paste, right? What works in Karnataka may not always work in thing. It should be site specific. Though we have this cropping pattern change, whether the soil there can support this kind of crops. Wherever it is there, they're open for it.
Okay, okay. So you mean to say it's more of collaborative efforts, or more extension related work needs to be done by the forest department officials in educating the farmers?
Exactly. Because no, that's why I called many stakeholders, means even the agriculture department, horticulture department, they should pitch in, and because ultimately for them it's the money which matters. For agriculture, for a farmer, it's matter of his money. How much money I get if I grow this crop? But again, we have to convince them that you grow this crop, elephant is bound to. So you get extracia for sure. You'll get extracia for sure, but the extracia is not matching with your actual money you'll be getting if you grow these kind of crops. Again, human life, right? So these are things have been discussed. They're open about it, but it's matter of practically implementing what has been implemented and successful in both the Tamil Nadu as well as Karnataka. One person was saying, no sir, यहाँ तो वो मधुमक्खी का भूल ही जाइए सर, यहाँ तो नहीं हो पाएगा, ये लोग नहीं मानेंगे. Again, it needs of extension, but they're open to experiment and try it out where it's possible.
Yeah.
By the way, you are also the author of that article. You don't have to credit me also. You are the
Yes.
one of the contributor for that.
Yes, sir, in your guidance. And also, before few years, I heard of a technology, a bee horn, a noise deterrent, a very harmless and innovative way to ward off the elephants. Probably in one of the state of Northeast, if I'm not wrong, I think it's the state of Assam, where in the railway department, I tried to introduce bee sound like alarm whenever the train is passing through. Maybe when the train is 10 kilometers away from that possible area where elephants are crossing the track, the alarm will start buzzing, just like a swarm of bees, and that will alert the elephants and does not lead to any accident between the elephant and train. So how much is that practical, and how widely has it been into practice?
No, I've heard about this, but what their feedback was, sir, they get used to it over a period of time. They've tried all the sensory deterrent, no? So the field people are telling, sir, earlier they used to get rid of only just flashing the torch. Now they don't bother about like how much you flash, they won't bother. Sound also, they won't bother. So once, look, elephant, I believe, is one of the most intelligent animal. Once they sense it, they won't, they have to adapt a new thing, right? So these things can be tried, this can be done, but feedback what I got from the really field worker, sir, ये सब काम आएगा sir first or two time, but once they sense it, it just is not a bee, it's just a bee sound. Because I've not worked in that landscape. It's only feedback I got from them. They've used all
Right.
kind of things which can be, you use, sir, lights they've used that, serial set lights. Like
Yes.
they make, they've used it over a period of time, but they get used to it. They use
Okay.
different methods. What they felt is over a period of time. And I was traveling from Sarguja to one more place. Literally, I was in shock. I see this Maveshi, like the cow and bulls on the road, highway, no? They're not moving. They're not moving an inch. Lorries are coming. We are going. The light is falling on their thing. They're not moving. Then the CF told Prayag, these cows or cattle are used to the light. They don't move an inch. We have to navigate in the highway. How you expect the elephant will just what of you're telling in your Karnataka, just by torch elephants will move. Our elephants are got used to the torch light. They won't move. So when the cattle sitting on the highway is not moving, how we expect? So then I realized, yes, yeah, all technique will not work in all the thing. Over a period of time, they get used to it. That's what I believe in.
Yeah, so we doctors are not only burdened with antimicrobial resistance, we are also facing resistance to this deterrent methods also. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. And
It's evolving. Look, I believe we have to keep on evolving. Look, earlier they were telling EPT, then came solar, then came tentacles. Look, they're adopting. And even the railway. Recently, I was seeing a video where I think in Bandipur or Nagarole, the elephant was stuck between the railway thing, and they have to literally free it from that railway barricade. So nothing is foolproof. I've seen very funny photos, videos where the elephant cross over any barricade. The only thing probably they should have erected a big wall, I believe sometimes. Like,
okay,
but
okay.
again, like there are very some will suggest spike the aki. Again, there'll be human, animal activists. Definitely, they have a point there. So one solution is not going to help. It should be like keep on experimenting and see what is feasible now. Now we have in Uttarakhand, they have a AI camera alerting system. It will alert. They have a camera and that signal will go. A beautiful thing they're doing in Uttarakhand now. So the latest one I read recently, they're doing AI based cameras. That's one thing I am curious to know how that will be practically implemented in other states as well. It was in trial phase
Yeah.
and they were quite successful in Uttarakhand.
Yeah, so probably I feel here that there are several universities in India, both awarding the Masters or Master of Science as well as Master of Veterinary Science degrees in wildlife health and forensics. So rather than picking up on, I have seen like many researchers pertaining to MVSC wildlife, wherein they focus more on just the fecal worm load of so and so animals. So rather than such simple topics, probably avenue opportunity needs to be created wherein maybe some technique could be developed in regards to this, finding in depth more about the pros and cons of certain techniques.
Yeah, definitely. Look, there are, though not in veterinary, but there are a lot of other universities which are focusing on this kind of research, right? So they're using AI cameras, they're using machine learning, robotics. If you see some of the videos, they're more advanced. A lot of new technologies coming up. As a veterinarian, I do think like at least we can ask our MVSC students who do wildlife to pick up those topics which is going to be practically used in the field. For example, if you're doing AHE only, give a topic of how to handle this by survey. What is the perception of the public? What is the perception? I think one lady did from Pondicherry, I believe. Extension work was on human elephant, no, not human wildlife conflict. So we as the veterinarians can also pitch in, but definitely over a period of time, I feel it's a mixture of Indian traditional methods and information technology. And nowadays we talk about AI, machine learning, robotics. I am for the everything as long as the solution is given, whether the traditional methods or the latest methods. I'm all for it.
Yeah. And last but not the least, very important but yet very um, conflicting thing would be to face the administrative challenges. It might be in the aspect of governance or political will. And secondly, it can be in terms of laws and policies. And third and most practical one would be in terms of infrastructure and the manpower, how much we have. So, how are we dealing with in both these states of Karnataka and Chhattisgarh? Because this is a
Karnataka,
constant pressing issue always, but with no solution so far.
no, Karnataka, what I see, the present minister is doing a commendable job. Having served in forest department for a quite few years, encroachment, the way that living encroachment is a wonderful steps towards it. And some of the latest orders issued by him are really pro conservation, and things are changing for good in Karnataka for sure. I can vouch for it. The way I see a decade back, more than a decade back, and now, I do understand no system is perfect. I'm not telling Karnataka is a number one perfect state, but thankfully they recently had international conference on Elephant Day, inviting different elephant states to come and participate. That itself is the first step where you're learning from different states and exchanging the technology, information, and expertise. Right? They have now 3 states coming together: Tamil Nadu, Kerala, and Karnataka. So I think now that there's a lot of awareness, media is also very keen on it. Every elephant death is scrutinized by animal activists as a good point, and the accountability is bought in. And look, the land is shrinking, the population is increasing. It's bound to increase. I'm not denying that. At the same time, a lot of mitigation methods been evolving, right? So what would take weeks together, we can capture an elephant in a day. I would dream wherever the landscape is feasible, the way Dave Cooper does it in South Africa. But I'm telling again with the disclaimer, wherever it's feasible, we should also adopt the latest technology they've been using. They go on chopper, dart the animal, pick it up within a matter of 15 minutes. The elephant is lifted and taken to a place where it's supposed to be taken. Whereas right now we take days, if not for weeks. Earlier it will be weeks. Now it has come to days. So probably in days to come, when we adopt wherever feasible. Again, I know the landscape issues. Wherever feasible, I think I am for it. They should use choppers. They should use 10-wheel thing that they can take. I've seen my friend is there in South Africa from Spain, Fabiola. I've seen 2 elephants, 3 elephants going a long truck. Probably Vantara may be a corporate thing, but they are bought a lot of technology with them. If you say the trucks for transporting elephants is far advanced than what we have seen in any other states. So bring the best technology and definitely have your traditional methods, which are proven, and work with all. And first, avoid the trunk wars among the people involved. Yeah, for me, look, honestly, if you ask me, I don't not have issue with the elephant being captured or ending, mitigating human wildlife. Not only elephant, any this one. This has been my problem from beginning. A lot of conflict happens among the professionals. It may be veterinarians, it may be forest department, it may be among media, it may be among animal activists, it may be among politicians. And look, we can solve ego problem. We can't solve ego problem. If you can solve ego problem will fix by itself. It's that way I see. The nature is not in trouble. We are in trouble. The nature
That's
exists.
so
It
wonderful.
exists. Yeah, as I see it, nature exists. They tell Earth is in danger. No, Earth is not in danger. We are in danger. The Earth, look, we are one species among multiple species we have. We may, the Earth will continue in one form. right? It has evolved. If you read, they tell we are a speck in the whole cosmos. We are a speck. One species perishes, nothing will happen. Maybe the other will be more beautiful.
Right. That was a wonderful concept, sir. If eco problem is to be solved, first the ego problem has to be solved. So far and wide across India, there is a crunch of manpower, no doubt in that. We have to wait for an expert to come from different state, or wait for a torfin to come from some place, renew the licenses on time. So many problems involved in terms of policy as well as infrastructure. So I hope, I dream of a future wherein there is no situation. There shouldn't be any situation wherein we have to choose between man and elephant. Uh, Probably we can maintain that balance and save both by putting an end to illegal mining or deforestation. It could be building of resorts in name of ecotourism or anything like that. So, as you rightly said, every stakeholder needs to be involved in this, cooperate with each other, and make a better place, Earth a better place for us to live in.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. All right. That was wonderful, sir, to have a conversation with you pertaining to the trunk war or the elephant conflict between both the states of Karnataka and Chhattisgarh. Thank you, Varsha. Thank you, Naveen. Thank you, everyone,
you.
for giving me
Thank
this
you, Dr.
opportunity.
Kaveri.
Thank you.
I have a request. My daughter and my wife have been calling. Can we wind up by 8? Today, Ganesh Chaturthi, and I can't take Panga with my wife and my daughter. 8 o'clock, we can wind up. Question answer. We have another 17 minutes because I'm getting frequent calls from there.
We'll try for that, definitely.
No problem.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Yes, sir. On to you, sir.
Yeah, you want to go with an introduction or can I go on?
Sir, you can go on with, I'll go with a brief introduction of yours.
Yep.
Selvam George is a founder of 5E, SERPRAISE. He believes in constantly challenging himself towards any new learning and believes in sharing the same with larger public. By qualification, George is a graduate in mathematics and aeronautic engineering from MIT Chennai and postgraduate in human resource management from Jamshedpur. He is also an ICF certified tutor coach from Fielding Institute, UK. He has also over 20 years of corporate experience in both Indian and multinational organizations, few of which include Titan Watches, TVS, Suzuki, and 3M India. His expertise spans across developing people. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, sure. Wonderful. It was great listening to Dr. Prayag and the question, the interaction, conversation between Dr. Kaveri and Dr. Prayag. Now it's a time to have some questions. We have a lot of questions in the chat, but because of the time constraints and respecting the time commitment of the speaker, let me put into some of the brackets. First is about the elephant conservation. So some of the people said excessive mining. Asha is saying excessive mining permission, maybe for various reasons in Chhattisgarh. Is that the reason? How shall we handle that? And Dr. Kaveri also said water resources are going away. Will that be a problem for the conservations? So, and some of the reasons for this reduction of the population, some of the measurements which we can talk. We talked about a lot, but do you like to give 2-3 highlights, Doctor? What could be the role of the public like us?
I think Dr. Prayag has lost his connection. He might be back. Dr. Kaveri, you want to take this?
Yeah, Kaveri can do.
Yeah, in my perspective, we have, I mean, in this generation of social media and youth being specifically, always being enthusiastic and responsible about the nature around them and the ongoing things. So, first of all, we need to understand that this is not someone else's responsibility. It is our responsibility too. So it could be as simple things starting from the home, like taking out kids to animal sanctuaries. Again, not zoos, but yeah, sanctuaries wherein it is taught how to respect nature and respect animal and tell the future generation that they are here not to be just being exploited, but they are here because we are here. We all coexist. So that needs to start as an individual. That will go a long way.
Wonderful. And the Friends of Elephants can do a role on that, of course. Yeah. And one of the things really strike to me is the eco and the ego. And you also captured that pretty well. The ego problems are bigger than the eco problems. And if the ego problems are solved, the eco problem will be. And Vadiraj made a good comment on that. I'm just looking at the elephants living so peacefully and gracefully. Is there any lesson we can take from them to solve the human conflicts between people and people conflict? Is there any learning from the elephants which we can take? Just a point to ponder.
Simple thing would be by being less greedy, or okay, not being greedy is impossible.
Yeah.
So I chose my words wisely by saying less greedy and being content with what we have and trying to, yes, survive and let elephants also survive at the same time.
Absolutely. Animals do coexist very peacefully because they know the difference between the need and the want. And we go from need to want to greed, and then the higher capital letter of greed, as you rightly said. So possibly, yeah, that's a good point. And Asha made a good point about the multi-stakeholders coming together to make a difference for the animal kingdom. And she is asking whether animal activists also should be part of that stakeholder meeting and what should be their role.
Animal activists, first of all, play a very important role. They act as a bridge between the conservationists as well as the media people and the common people through their writings and their publications, etc. So these days, I see a very negative development in this regard, wherein constantly I see uh, being making negative comments about the conservationists or doctors or people involved. So that should stop, and we should try on first enriching ourselves, making the resources right. And there are already, as I mentioned in my previous talk also, there are a number of pressing problems. So rather than adding on to those, we have to find a solution to existing ones.
Wonderful. And I don't know this question you would be able to answer, or Dr. Prayag, because he said in Kodagu, the death came down from 89 to 0, but you can make the answer generic if you don't have the data points of Kodagu. I'm wondering what could be some of the reasons for the earlier death and how they come out of that. And is technology played a part of it? And or is there any other measures? And if I am talking about technology, then Vadiraj says, yes, the speaker made a mention about Africa. And Vadiraj says Africa terrain and India terrain could be different. Using the chopper, will that be applicable here? So a lot of questions. Anything if you like to share, it will be great.
Yeah, although the right person is Dr. Prayag, but in my perspective, there can be simple things like it can be both natural and the technology. Natural in terms of water, as I witnessed it myself.
Hmm.
So, a simple measure like we already have several artificial ponds across the forest that forest people fill in on a regular basis so that animals don't will not be deprived of water. So, that needs to be done on a war foot basis. And second thing is making good use of camera traps and the radio collars will certainly help in understanding the pattern. There is a different pattern again for male elephants, it is different for females, it is different in certain seasons, it is different. So, understanding the pattern of movements of elephants also certainly helps in this regard.
Wonderful.
So Dr.
So,
Prayag is
Dr.
back.
Prayag, yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
Sorry,
So, Dr. Prayag, there was
sorry.
a question going on by Selvam that the African terrain is different and the Indian terrain is different. How practical is it that in India chopper is used to rescue or feed elephants?
That's what I'm telling. Wherever it's feasible, I made a disclaimer that wherever it's feasible, because I discussed with Fabiola, she told certain Indian landscapes are definitely feasible for lifting elephants through chopper.
Wonderful.
Not every.
Wonderful. And I think I consolidated most of the questions, and some of them are yet to be there. Let me have a look at Shainu Prushottamam says, despite the rising human-animal conflicts in Kerala, especially with incidents involving elephants and other wildlife, there seems to be a lack of adequate attention and discourse on the pressing issues. Why are these conflicts not being addressed more prominently, and what steps can be taken by the authorities, media, and the conservationalists to highlight these challenges? How can we ensure that the voices of the affected communities and the need for wildlife promotion, protection are heard? So basically about the conservation.
So I lost your video for me.
Sorry? Basically how to increase the awareness and protection. We lost, I think.
Yeah, I lost you in between. Your video was freezed in between. So
Okay.
can you rephrase the question?
If I can summarize, basically it is about how to increase the awareness, how to bring all the stakeholders together, and how to make a difference for the animal kingdom. So
Okay, that's recently
yeah.
what recently in the international conference it was discussed that all the stakeholders should work in unity. I don't know the differences. Then among the states there should be a coordination and exchange of expertise, information, and being on the same page. So when put in a simple word, leave your ego and work for echo. That's what I believe. Because what I've been over a period of 20 years in this issue, I've seen. Look, I want to prove myself right, and I want to prove Kaveri wrong. That's what it matters. I call myself expert because I have gray hairs and Kaveri has. Kaveri may be having greater ideas, practical ideas, but I'll not allow Kaveri to grow because I want to become number one in the field. So forget about ego. Whoever it may be. It may be doctor, it may be forest department, it may be revenue department, all the stakeholders, and I may use the word, it includes everyone involved in this issue, okay, directly or indirectly. That I have a beautiful book called Our Iceberg is Melting. I use this as a classical example. If you can follow that 9 steps of change, any challenging situation can be solved, and it's evolving, right? It's not that just in the 9th point, as I think, it always should be adapt to the new challenges.
correct.
Right. So there's definitely solution for the ecological problems, but unless you're meditative conscious, there's no solution for your ego problems.
Absolutely. Yeah, the highlight. Sorry, go ahead.
I never have any issue with a decent understanding about ecology and decent understanding about this conflict. All I can say is, if we can iron out differences, sit together, and you can argue, debate on the war room, but when you go in the practical field, we should only go with practical solutions. Now we see landslide in Wayanad. Why? Because one report was not agreed, another report was agreed. Why? I don't want to go very specific for the names. So point is, it's not a matter of who is right. The point is what is right. Why you're fighting is who is right. The Prayag is right or Kaveri is right. My point is not at all. What is right? If you can understand, everything will fall in place.
Absolutely. One of the highlights today, everybody is talking about your ego and eco. And you have to write a book on eco challenges and the ego problems.
So things have been written, sir. The point is everyone knows the path.
Yeah.
How many are ready to walk?
Absolutely right.
My daughter knows better than me. To be very honest, sir, I don't have any ego telling that. My daughter knows better than me how to solve the problems. But I, being the father, I tell, I am your father. Listen to me. The kid on the streets is more smarter than the scientists I've met.
Well said. Well said. And I was asking one question in her absence, and Dr. Kaveri could answer some of those, and you can add on. This is, again, talking about the animal living peacefully and in coordination, elephants, and we have these ego problems. And I asked any learning we can take from them, and she beautifully answered. They live by the needs, and we went into wants and greed, and our greed has no limits. Do you like to add anything more? Please go ahead.
Need is okay, sir. Need is perfectly okay. I disagree with Kaveri. Need is okay for me.
No, need is accepted. Greed.
Yeah, greed is okay. Greed is not okay for me. Need. I have a need. Right. Look, no animal will store food for the future. Elephant will it store food?
Absolutely right.
Yeah, maybe cheetah or this one, because they eat on the rotten thing, they go and preserve in a top of tree or this one.
Correct.
But they don't make for next generation. Have you seen any animal? I want food for my next generation.
Yeah.
Right. So we are making for not only this generation, fourth generation, fifth generation.
Yeah.
Now the property, the whole, if you see the economical differences among people, I was told, correct me if I'm wrong, I think 10% of the people have the 100% of the wealth with them.
Yes, you're right.
So that be very unfortunate.
Yeah.
Right. Whereas you see the jungle Raj, I am for the jungle Raj, because in the nature, when the morning gets up, this is a beautiful, I think, African proverb.
I should run faster than the.
Exactly. It's a matter of survival.
Yeah.
Whether you're a lion or a deer, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
As soon as sun rises, you run. One is running for life, one is again running for life because it will eat the food. It will die to look. And this we are so intoxicated with this power, prestige, position, no?
Yeah.
Like, look, I believe it very strongly, and I experience when I go to Vipassana, the Buddha's message. I'm not being very particular about one particular person. What he told was contemporary. Even today, I can apply that. Same with Rama, same with Jesus, same with Mahabharata. We are fighting in the name of what? The essence is same. Conserve. Look, I tell people, conserve yourself first, then you conserve nature. You haven't been fighting with your wife. Now you want to be conservationist. You come and fight with the authorities.
Yeah.
I asked, when the activist comes to me, are you having a happy family life? If you're having a happy family life, then you can be anything. He is not able to vent out his anger with his wife or husband. He comes and becomes activist and went for the system.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I take it from there because unfortunately we defined success in relative terms and conquering. Let me finish that. Sorry?
Sir, I have to wind up because 8 o'clock my wife and my
I have to
waiting.
just add one sentence and close. It's a jovial sentence. Normally in the forest, people will lose themselves. And today, when Vikram was talking, he got a message from somebody, Gomati from Calcutta, saying that I found you after a long time. So our wildlife has connected people also. Good. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your time. And thank you, Dr. Kaveri. Both of you.
Thank you, all the members at Friends for Elephant. Especially thanks to Verma sir, who is not there. I'm told he's traveling. He's busy with him. And happy Gauri Ganesha. I don't believe in God, but I believe in Ganapati, the nature, the elephants. Let's worship them because our survival depends on theirs. We are all interconnected with the network. Thank you very much. I have to give
thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. you.
And
Thank you
thanks to all the questions on the chat. Over to Varsha. Go ahead.
Sorry, sorry, really sorry. Can I have one question? Like if Dr.
Yes,
Kaveri is there?
Kaveri is there, I think. Can you put it in the chat so that Varsha can read it out and Kaveri can answer?
Yeah.
See, I'm a research scholar. I'm just planning, working on it on AI and photography. Just thought of asking her. I think she left. No issues. I'll if I get a contact, I might contact her and
Sure.
So I can forward the question to ma'am if you need.
yeah. It's all about I'm working on my research in AI,
Okay.
AI and photography
Okay.
in Western Ghats of Tamil Nadu. So
Okay.
how AI is gonna help our wildlife in the upcoming years. So just wanted to check with her whether this topic will suit.
Okay.
Bala, what I can do is, with her permission, I will share her email ID and maybe you can contact her.
Yes, thank you, Naveen. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks.
Yes, Varsha.
Okay. Yes, sir. Okay, I would like to thank everybody who participated and thank you so much, sir. And yeah, if there is any reviews or if any questions you have other than this, do let us know. Naveen sir and I are here, so we clarify.
Yeah, so I just thank everybody for your participation. Thank all the guests. Thank you, Varsha. And the event recording would be updated on the Friends of Elephants YouTube channel, and we would be back soon with another event. So thank you.
Thank you, Naveen sir. Thank you, everybody. Happy Ganesh Chaturthi.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.